Hi, this is Sean. Coming up are some rhythmic tips from my recent members webinar. Keep in mind though that the notation shared on my screen was from the previous part of the discussion. You don't need any notation to understand what I'll be teaching here. Hope it helps you. I remember something somebody asked me. If I would talk about rhythmic displacement, which I have talked about before, but I'm happy to speak about. So, and how I use it and all that sort of stuff. Somebody emailed me that. So rhythmic displacement means taking the same rhythm and beginning off different points in the bar, right? Let's take a simple thing like 1, 2, and. Of course, you want to practice accenting the 2 and, right? 1, 2, and. And Tony, who asked about comping, learn to comp these things, my friend. So let's take a 1, 6, 2, 5 where I get two chords per bar. And the 6 will come on the and of the 2, right? 1, 2, and will be chord 6. I'm playing 1, 6, 2, 5. Why? Because I'm going to push that 6. Robert, yes, please do talk about displacement. Brilliant. Very useful. Thank you, Justin. Roger, triplets very useful. Need to practice. Yep, you and me both, Roger. We all need to practice. So if I take 1, 2, and, right? If I'm playing 1, 6, 2, 5, that will push the 6 if I've got 2 chords per bar. The 6th chord will come on the and of 2. 1, 2, and. I'm playing a 6 dominant. 2, 5. Right, so the 5 is pushed as well. Now, if I want to use rhythmic displacement, what I'll do is take 1, 2, and, but I'll also practice that same rhythm starting on 2. So now I'll have 2, 3, and, 3, 4, and, 4, 1, and, right? So let's see how it feels. I don't know yet. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep. And I put in a 4 and because it felt right to do. You're going to find your exit if something like that's going on, right? So I got 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 3, and 4, and. The last one was just an extra because it sounded good, right? But that is what displacement does. It takes the same rhythm and then puts it later or puts it earlier. I've noticed that putting them earlier is actually quite cool. So what we could have had is, because we started on 1, 2, and, then next time we start on 4. If we started on 1, then we start on 4 and displace it earlier, right? So we go 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and. Oh, that will swing like hell. If you go 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2. Here's what happens if I displace that simple rhythm 1 beat earlier each time. It'll go 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and something to finish, right? So 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Oh, I messed up. 1, let me go again. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and something, right? In improv, it can be stuff like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and simple. That could be comping as well. I mean, I could have longer phrases, so improv was more natural, of course. But this is just an example. I could do that in comping as well. So it'd be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me say what I'm doing. 1. Actually, I'll play it first and then say it, just so you can hear how it sounds. I'll try and do it with walking bass so you get a feel for it. I haven't tried doing this. Here we go. So I go 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. That's how you learn to swing in your comping. Who was it who asked that? Tony asked that. And you said it's hard to do. Yeah, it is hard to do. But it's hard to do because, again, people aren't practicing strategies. You know, they don't have a strategy to get good at it. and it will feel at times like nothing is happening and that it's not improving. All practice is like that. Otherwise, you would just do something and it would improve, and poof, you got wings and you're out of here. It's not like that, so keep going when you think nothing is happening, and something is happening for sure. We can also use displacement when something begins on an and. This is more advanced, so this is for the most advanced amongst you. So when it feels like you've started on an and. So let's say I do something like this. Okay, if I have a rhythm like this, 1 da da da, it's like big band, 1. Then that was 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 2 3 4. 1 and 2 3 and 4. Let me do it again. Don't worry about exactly what I'm playing. That's not the point. It's about rhythm, right? I'm playing 1 6 2 5. I don't even know why I'm playing that, to be honest. So on the next one, I played just a simple rhythm. This time I'll try and displace that first rhythm. If I go 1 and 2, 3 and, then next time I'll try and go 4 and 1, 2 and. So I've brought everything forward a whole beat, right? I don't even know if I can do it yet. I'm with you. I'm just like, I'm not ahead of you. I'm learning as well. 1. That's why I don't edit out mistakes. I make them all day, every day. I don't want people to think that what I do is sit down and not make any mistakes. That's not how you learn anything. I think it was Dexter Gordon that used to say to his musicians, if you're not making mistakes, then you're not really trying. So 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. I don't know how I'll do that. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and. Yeah. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and. Hard to do. Not that hard once you feel it. It's just to show if you just master any one rhythm. It can be the earlier ones I did on starting on the on beats, or those later ones I did on the off beats. Master it and your comping will improve so much. I'm studying at the moment to see how some of the masters place the accented or the stronger beats on different places as the solo goes on. Barry is a master of this. You won't hear him play 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2. It's not like that. It's just it's so poetic that it really brings the music to life. I'm studying stuff like that at the moment. Okay, that's me talking for an hour. Guys, with rhythm, as with everything else, you just got to make it part of your world. Don't feel that it is something that you now have to add on. Oh man, I've already got chords to learn, I've got progressions to learn, I've got songs to learn, I've got keys to learn. No, this is just part of your work. If you're improvising, it's always part of your work. If you're learning tunes, it's always part of your work. Just don't make it separate, to be well-rounded. If you're doing something rhythmic, if you're doing something scale, linear, I mean scales. If you're doing something to do with progressions, you'll be well-rounded. So things will always go your way.